Hello, great people. Nigerians, particularly Lagosians, are concerned as the Civilian Joint Task Force, that's the CJTF, revealed that Boko Haram members have been trooping en masse into Lagos, and over 1,000 of them have been arrested. You may want to ask yourself that 1,000 Boko Haram members in Lagos, I don't know the extent to which you are concerned, but I am concerned because of the strategic position that Lagos holds in Nigeria. And on this episode of Politin with Dr. Omosholadeju, we'll be looking at the political consequence of Boko Haram invasion in Lagos, God forbid, the economic consequence, the social consequence. What is government doing to stem the tide? How can such things, if it occurs, how can it affect you? And also, what is this ideology that Boko Haram is trying to propagate, and what is the prospect of them realizing their agenda in Nigeria, particularly Lagos State? We'll be looking at all these and a whole lot more on this episode with your sure plug, Dr. Omosholadeju. First, what I can say is that this arrest of these Boko Haram members, to me, the first thing that it brings to mind is the words of retired Commodore Omowumi. You will recall that the retired Commodore appeared on Channels TV many years ago, some years ago, and he said that these Boko Haramists, these Islamist fundamentalists, that they will continue trying till they take over, even if it takes 100 years. That they will continue trying to propagate their extremism, even if it takes 100 years. So the big question is that Nigerian government, I hope Nigerian government is aware that ideologies do not die quick. But then again, this trooping en masse of the Boko Haramists into Lagos signals two things. Their migration into Lagos signals two things. It's either the military is working, it's either they are feeling the heat in the north, and that is the position of the Nigerian government, that the military is bombarding them in the north, the military is doing a good job, and for some reason the terrorists are now migrating from the north down to the south, and they are kind of like trying to form an enclave in Lagos and some southwest state. But then again, is it only that the military is working, or there is another dimension to it? And I think that there's another dimension to it, which is expansion of territory as propagated by retired Commodore Omowumi. Let us imagine something. If you are existing in Nigeria for over 10 years as a Boko Haram, well, you may have been facing the heat from the Nigerian military, but the truth is that for you to survive for 10 years, that means that you are either doing something right, although your idea may be wrong, but there must be something that you are doing right in your own thinking, and you want to think that, well, you can expand your net, that if you can survive 10 years, then it means that you can survive another 10 years. So I see it not only from the aspect that the military is working, shout out to the Nigerian military, they are trying their best under a difficult circumstance, but also I see it from the angle of expansion of territory, in the sense that how easy is it for these Boko Haramists to recruit in Nigeria? It is quite easy for this Boko Haram set to recruit because there's vast unemployment in the country. So the government must not overlook the aspect of expansion of territory. And if you look at it, that is why the Lagos State government some years ago banned Okada in some sensitive part of Lagos State. Some of you don't know that it is because of this Boko Haram issue. Well, should I say it is one of the issues that made the Lagos State government to ban Okada in Lagos State, especially in some sensitive area. And that is a good idea, because if you look at the way Boko Haram operates, the way they coordinate their attacks, they need something that can give them like easy mobility, and that's where Okada comes in. They cannot use bicycle, and the only thing they depend on is Okada. And that's why you will recall that some of these sects, when they want to demand for ransom, some of them even demand for Okada, that's motorcycle. Some of them even demand for it so that it can ease their movement. So I think it is good, and Lagos State government should up its sleeves. One thing that is quite very important that one must not overlook, and government must remember that only one coordinated attack, just one, is needed to rule many. Only one coordinated attacks in Lagos is what is needed to I don't want to use the word finish. It's what is needed to cause a collateral damage, because if you look at the way houses are built in Lagos, if you look at the congestion of Lagos, then one coordinated attack of a bomb or any other explosive would lead to massive destruction. So for 1,000 people to be arrested, it means that these people are already kind of like mapping the terrain, are already gaining ground. And if you look at it, as a Nigerian citizen, there's nothing much that government can do to restrict migration. Every Nigerian citizen is free to live in wherever they please. You can decide, you can wake up tomorrow and decide that, oh, you want to start living in Sokoto. You can decide from Sokoto to say you want to start living in Lagos State. So the government has to be very careful. The intelligence have to be top notch, because only one coordinated attack is what is needed to cause a collateral damage in Lagos. And that is why one cannot stop advocating for the protection of security formations, as advocated by retired Commodore Omowumi, because he said that on Friday, the army barracks will be, the gate of the army barracks will be thrown open and everybody will be coming in to pray. How can Nigeria compromise its security formation, a sensitive one like the military barrack, because they just want people to pray? I thought that, well, the Nigerian military would have reversed it since that man made that assertion that year. But to my greatest surprise, the Nigerian military is here to reverse it. Every Friday, then you see people trooping into military barracks. And the implication of this is that if they've already mapped the terrain, then if anything happens, the military that is supposed to save the people is already compromised. And talking about compromise, you will recall that if armed robbers, if they want to coordinate an attack, their first target is always police station. They used to target the police station in that environment because they know that that is where help can come from. Those are the people that have the power, the might and force to be able to confront them. And that is why the issue of people throwing the gate of the military barrack open every Friday just because people want to pray must stop. It must stop if Nigeria is serious about tackling the issue of insecurity, because the highest level of security protection in the country, which is the military, must not be compromised in any way or manner whatsoever. And one thing that is quite important, the consequence, the economic consequence for the Hausa Fulani community is that the bad Hausa Fulanis, the Boko Haram sect among them, the Islamists among them, would affect and cause the expulsion of the good ones. You see, if the Hausa Fulani community do not cooperate with the government to make sure that they fish out the bad eggs among them, you see, this will lead to their expulsion and it will affect their trade, because if any attack should go on in Lagos, definitely the Lagos community will be hostile to the Hausa Fulani community. And don't forget that they are easily identifiable. The reason why they are thriving in the north is because everybody, or should I say substantial majority, is an Hausa Fulani. But in the south, particularly in Lagos, when you say an Hausa Fulani man, you can easily identify them. So if they should coordinate any attack in Lagos, it will bring hostility from the people of Lagos, and this will affect them because definitely nobody will want to patronize them. Nobody will want to have anything to do with them. And that will bring about a revolution, strong resistance from the people of Lagos State, whereby they will start expelling the Hausa Fulanis from their community. So that is why the Hausa Fulani community in Lagos right now need to begin to cooperate with government to begin to fish out the bad eggs among them. If not, it will affect them and it will lead to hostility and eventual expulsion of the Hausa Fulani community in Lagos State. And one thing that is of concern to me is that the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, should not be politically correct in any way or manner whatsoever. It is of common knowledge that Tinubu wants to return as president in 2027 at a time whereby the Hausa Fulani community are accusing him of nepotism, are accusing him of tribalism, high-handedness and all that. He may want to be politically correct that if I go all out after these guys, would the Hausa Fulani community, the likes of El Rufai, Atiku and co, won't they accuse me of going after their people? Then he may want to be politically correct. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu, being a power-oriented politician, I would advise him that in the history of Nigeria, it will be written that you are president. Do not be politically correct. Go all out against these guys. Send them back to their creator, and whatever God wishes to do with them is between them and God. Government must be decisive because ideology don't die quick. You see, being a member of all this sect and all that, it has to do with ideology, and ideology is something that does not die. Take them to anywhere, ideology, that ideology will still resurrect, and that is why government needs to know that definitely these people cannot be handled with kid gloves. And also, there must be an holistic approach to tackling terrorism in Nigeria. Create jobs, make life convenient for the people, so that definitely people will not be inspired to join these people, so that we know that anybody that belongs to any form of criminal gang is a real criminal, not because he's poor, not because he's unemployed, not because he's uneducated. I wish government and Lagosians good of luck and the best of luck, and I hope that the Boko Haram element will not eventually have their way in the state and Nigeria as a whole. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politics with Dr. Omoshola. Did you subscribe? Turn on your notification button. Catch up with my past videos. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.